Back to the Senior Hour. I'm Dr. Gene Dorio, and my co-host Barbara Cochran on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. We're talking about Sierra Pelona Valley, the wine tasting that we're going to have. It's a whole festival of events that will be taking place on March the 20th, which is a Saturday. May the 20th, which is a Saturday. And my problem is I'm standing up right now trying to make room for everybody. And, one of the things that last things we want to talk about with Judy Penman is some of the events that are taking place with the Senior Center and blend that into our next guest, Nola Aronson, concerning her role in the Sierra Pelona Valley Festival that we're having.
Thank you, Gene. I just wanted to say the Senior Center is very busy right now. We have many things going on, and we're always trying to find ways of raising money for our seniors. So Bless Pizza Rev, they are so great. They're a great little pizza place by Target. And they are having a fundraiser for us on April 24th from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. I already have 20 of my friends who are all showing up at 11 a.m. in the morning, and I understand we have another meeting at the Senior Center that night, so we're going to go back that night and have more pizza. So I'll just be pizzaed out that day. But we appreciate it, and they're giving the Senior Center 20% of whatever they bring in that day. So last time we had this event, they gave us a very nice check, and we appreciate that.
And that's over on Magic Mountain near Target.
Yes.
So, and just to let you know that also you can make your own pizza there.
Yeah, well, that's
they
what
cook
you
it
do.
for you. You put it together.
You tell them all the toppings you want, and mine was so thick it was like a lettuce pizza, a salad pizza. So that's in April. Then we have our Sierra Pelona Valley wine event on May 20th, and that's a great event. And then in June, we are having our 5th annual Touch a Truck at Central Park, which is an event for children, but they bring their dads for free, and it's Father's Day weekend, and it costs everyone $5 to come in, but it is such a great event. So many members of our community have volunteered to have, like, we have Camelot Movers with their moving truck. We have the fire engine. We have the quakey, shaky earthquake. We have so many. The Rasmussens always donate their big diggers, their dirt diggers, and all of their equipment. And the kids get up close and personal to those events. We're going to have a boutique. It's going to be great. It's just really a friend raiser, getting the kids acquainted, and the seniors again work that event. I know Barbara's done registration for years. I'll be there to help. We get a ton of volunteers. It's just a fun event for $5. So I just wanted to thank KHTS for always being such great sponsors, helping the Senior Center, helping us make money for our seniors. So, Nola, you always have great things to say, and you are one of the best sponsors in town. You are there for all of us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And we appreciate that. Thank you, Judy. Thanks for being on the show and bringing all the important topics that are taking place. But once again, just like Judy said, Nola Aronson from Advanced Audiology has always been a sponsor to many events here in Santa Clarita, and the Sierra Pelona Valley Festival is just one of them that you've been doing.
Yes. We always support the anything that has to do with the Senior Center, because we can't wait to have our new Senior Center, and we have to raise a lot of money for that, so that we will have this big, new, beautiful facility that will be available to our community. And I'm always a believer in supporting everything in our community. So I just supported the Senior Center golf tournament, and I forgot all the things. I forgot all the things I've been doing. Last weekend I did the Seroptimist, a sponsor of the fashion show for the girls and women for education, and the Dream It Be It girls that we have in... forget what the name of that place is.
Which one?
The Dream It Be a Girls. But anyway, we support them, and we, with Vanessa Wilkes' help, we were able to bring them to Sacramento with us. It's the first time any of them flew on an airplane. and they hadn't been anywhere in their lives really, and they got to meet Senator Wilk, of course, and Assemblyman Dante Acosta, and see our Capitol, and they had never been anywhere, so it was really exciting for them. Let's see, and then I sponsored the chili cook-off a week before that, and that was to help children with the Straightening Reins program, and also the Spotlight Arts, because, a lot of our schools can't afford to have arts programs anymore, and we need to. Spotlight Art is a really good nonprofit to teach children how to dance and sing and art and, all the creative things that our children need to have. So we sponsor everybody in this community because we love this community, and we are the community champions voted by the Valley Industrial Association and the Chamber of Commerce here. And so that's who we are. And this year we're celebrating our 30th anniversary in this valley, and we will be having a big community party sometime in October. But that's being worked on right now, and we will have a big event for our entire community.
Nola, let's talk about, though, you have definitely a lot of relationships here in Santa Clarita that you have advanced financially, and we just think that's great. But really, to me, as a physician, the most important thing you have done is bring new life and quality of life to many of our senior patients, especially those who are having hearing deficits and hearing problems. And, I just want to stay on that, from the advanced audiology viewpoint that, without hearing, many of our seniors would live a life that is not up to par with some of their friends and family members. So let's talk a little bit about, what you do in terms of the medical part of changing people's lives and helping them move forward, hearing, allowing them to drive and hear sirens when they are, the television at home, communicating on telephone and even on computers. These are the things that you open up their world to that if we didn't have you here, that would not happen.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Yes, that is our pet peeve. We have some great and exciting news I would like to tell you about, though, before I go into that. And that is 30 years ago when I moved to the Santa Clarita Valley, I joined in business with an audiologist who had been here first, Randall Bartlett, and he was the owner of Audiology Services of Newhall. And I was with him for over 15 years when I decided to go out on my own. And so Randall wanted to retire. And so I have just purchased Audiology Services of Newhall and Audiology Partners in Mission Hills. So I now have 2 more offices. There's a third office that's going to be opening in the horizon within the next month or 2. So I will now have 3 offices. You
are busy.
And so it's very exciting because many of the patients that came to that office are now hopefully going to become my patients again. And we will not be keeping that location. That was located on Lyons Avenue. We will be moving that to my location on Valencia Boulevard at 23822 Valencia Boulevard, Suite 103. We're next to AAA in the Century 21 Troop Building, the ones with the purple sign. And so to bring this to your wonderful comments is it's very exciting times in the hearing aid world. It takes, there are 34 million Americans that have some degree of hearing loss, and it takes the average person 7 years to do anything about their hearing. Mm-hmm. It seems so silly to me with the new technology that we have now in hearing devices that are, everybody goes out and they have to buy a Bluetooth device because they can't talk on their cell phones in the car and they have to be hands-free. Mm-hmm. But they wear these big things hanging out of their ears and they don't think a thing about it because it's a Bluetooth device. Now here, you and I are having a conversation, maybe we're in a relationship and we're arguing with each other. And why are we arguing with each other? Because you can't hear me. Mm-hmm. Or you're not understanding what I'm saying to you. And I have to repeat myself over and over again. So how does that make for a good relationship when you can't have an agreement with somebody, so you tend to not like them, so now you don't communicate with them anymore? Mm-hmm. I have so many adult kids saying to me, I don't want to talk to my mom anymore because she doesn't hear me on the phone and I can't get over there. And do you want to separate yourself from all these people in your life? Mm-hmm. That's what it's doing when you don't do something about it. Mm-hmm. Now, the biggest thing I get from most people is, well, the reason that we're not doing something about it is because of the money. And we heard that hearing aids were so expensive and we can't afford that, living on Social Security, and that's our only income, and we can't afford expensive hearing aids. Well, my answer to that is you can't afford not to get something. Mm-hmm. That is really an excuse to me about not wearing hearing devices, because we can afford to go on a cruise. We can afford to do what we really want to do. But obviously people don't want to hear better, and that's a good excuse. There are all types of hearing price ranges, and it all depends on what your needs are. I had a patient in yesterday. His insurance paid, luckily for him, for a midline hearing aid. But it seemed that in his lifestyle, he may have needed a top-of-the-line hearing aid. His wife also needed hearing aids, and the insurance paid for hers too, but not for the top of the line. Well, he wanted her to have the top of the line. And I let him, he tried the top of the line, and then he tried the midline. And what happened was he felt the midline served his needs fine. So he got it paid in full. Mm-hmm. So he says, well, I hope you don't mind. I go, no, all I want you to do is be happy. I want you to find the right thing for your environment and tell me that I changed your life. Mm-hmm. And now you're able to do the things that you love to do. And you don't make excuses why you can't go out to dinner with your family, why you don't want to have people over your house. You start to isolate yourself. Your brain also, now they've linked the brain with hearing. The brain is not being stimulated because you're missing so many sounds. And there's just so many health problems now that can go along with not being able to hear. There's heart disease. There's, all the psychological implications. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't people want to come to like my office, and we, as a community audiologist, offer free hearing screenings. Last year, we did 1,000 free hearing screenings for our community. This year, our goal is 1,500. It doesn't cost you anything to come in. Then you get educated. That's what we love to do. We love to educate you about your hearing and what's happening. And the worst thing you can find out is your hearing is fine. And now you have a baseline, and it didn't cost you anything, and it just took a little bit of your time. And then you got educated. recently we've had some lunch and learns. And what we've done is we've had lunches at Salt Creek, which is a great lunch, one of our most famous restaurants here. And we educated people. So when they came into our office, they had really good questions. They knew what we were going to do. They knew what we were looking for. And they were successful. Not everybody needed hearing devices, but, people got to learn. And I think that's what it's all about. I think people are in mystery. They give the bad news to each other. Hearing devices now are all Bluetooth. You can hear your TV through your hearing aids. You can go for a walk and listen to your music through your hearing aids. You can listen to your audiobooks. You could hear people at a table. You can hear people at meetings. They're so cool now. And all you have to do is tell people this is your new Bluetooth that you're using.
But, there are some...
But you don't even see them.
There are some of our listeners, though, who are not listening because they can't hear us.
Yeah.
So really, we have to also direct the attention of this problem to the caregivers, the family members who are around our patients who are realizing their loved one, after 7 years, is not hearing them. And that their quality of life is being upset because they can't hear. And those are really the individuals we should be going after, at least with my patients. I'm always looking at the kids, the son and the daughter who are saying, oh, yeah, I got, my mom doesn't hear, my dad doesn't hear, and how that's reflecting and affecting their life. And so, for the listeners who can hear us right now, especially the people surrounding our patients, this is an important part of making sure they understand the implications of it and the consequences of not being able to hear.
That's true. You hit the nail on the head. And so for those people that are listening, our website is SCV Advanced with a D Audiology.com. On that website, we have a free hearing guide that you can download and learn all about what to look for in hearing and how hearing, is a part of your family and what you can do about it. We also now have some videos on there that are educational videos, learning what we do in a hearing screening, what it entails, and all about other things. So it's a good place to visit. Is our website. The
other thing, though, Nola, is that if you suspect your loved one is having hearing problems, you should take your loved ones to Nola's office and screen them. It's free. And Medicare, I think, pays for a screening as well.
Medicare pays for a test.
A test. So to be honest with you, if you are suspicious that your loved one might be having this problem, bring them over because you'll at least get a baseline. These are testing that are authenticated and certified around the country. So everything is the same at your office or in Boston. Doesn't matter. So to make sure, and if somebody from Boston is listening to our show, which can be happening, it happens now, then think about the possibility here in Santa Clarita that you get your loved one an appointment and get them in to make sure that their hearing is not the problem that you might now be having with communication.
Right. And a lot of times, that the person is being diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia, but it turns out it was the hearing. And
Very
they just
common.
weren't hearing.
Very common problem.
Just like when I used to be a special ed teacher, the kids were being diagnosed with mental retardation, and they had a hearing loss. I wasn't an audiologist at that time. I didn't know. But, now I can see how that's put together.
That's very basic information, too.
Right.
And we need to take a break. Okay, Nolan? I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. And we've had a very interesting hour this morning. The first guest was Beth Heisman from Reyes Winery, who's putting on the Sierra Pelona Valley Wine Festival. And Nola Aronson, our guest now, is one of their sponsors. So it's been one big happy family this morning.
And being from Advanced Audiology, I still ask the question as people listen to our show or can't listen to our show, what Nola, are there other ways in terms of enhancing one's, other than sign language, enhancing one's ability to communicate and maybe hear a little bit better and, not just turn the TV up?
Okay, so one of the things that people can do when they're speaking to a hearing impaired person is, number one, make sure you get their attention before you even start talking. Call their name and wait for them to say what. The other biggest thing is to talk slowly. Mm-hmm. Say each word. Do not talk quickly and mumble all your words together. You do not have to raise your voice when you're doing that. You can just talk like this. And I don't know, I do it naturally now. I can't talk quickly anymore because I've been doing this for so long. But I try to tell people, and you can lower the tone of your voice to a more of a bass tone because most people have hearing loss in the high frequency range. And so most women and children's voices are very high pitched up there. Mm-hmm. So if you go like this and you start to talk like that, people will hear you better. Also, make sure that you're not sitting more than 10 feet away from a TV or from a speaker. Mm-hmm. And that will help too. You will have to raise the volume if you don't have a hearing device and you have a hearing loss.
Well, they have earphones now that are cordless, which are a lot safer than they used to be. But to be honest with you, that sometimes becomes an inconvenience. You have to charge them, and after a few hours, the battery goes dead. So there's not a lot of convenience to that. But it does, if the person's only watching an hour or two of television, then that could work too. Telephone as well.
Well, I do have a device in my office that came out about 2 years ago now. Mm-hmm. It's still sitting on my desk. It's called Hypersound, and it is a special device that they used to use in the space programs or in the Army that directed sound to a person. And through these speakers, you can hear the TV very clearly, like you have surround sound in your head. And that's for people who don't want to wear hearing aids or take their hearing aids out at night because they bother them or whatever. Mm-hmm. So we do have that, and that's called Hypersound, and you can call our office at 661-253-EARS. That's 661-253-3277, and come and have a demonstration of that. And also we are having 2 open houses. They will be on April 18th and 19th. That's a Tuesday and Wednesday. And I'm not sure, on the 25th, I think, and 26th, it would be a Tuesday and Wednesday. And if you'd like more information of that, we're giving away George Foreman grills. We're giving away 3-day, 2-night vacations. So it's a really good thing, and you can come in for your free hearing screening. So call us at 661-253-3277. That's Advanced Audiology, right next to AAA in the Century 21 Troop Building.
Well, Nola, we talked earlier about your sponsorship of Sierra Pelona Valley Festival this year and so many other things that you do, but our goal is to get you to that 1,500 screenings this year. So once again, call 253-3277, and Nola will get you tuned in.
Okay,
appreciate your being on the show.
And thanks for having me again.
We are sponsored by Advanced Audiology and Comfort Keepers in Home Care. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.